Hey everybody, hope everyone's doing well as always. Thanks for watching. I'm coming to you with another book review for this year. I'm super excited about this one. It did not disappoint. So without further ado, my book review is on Atomic Habits by James Clear. So probably have heard about this book. It's a New York Times bestseller. As a lot of you know, I love books on habit formation and building habits and kind of patterns of successful people in terms of their habits and behavior. And so I had to give this one a try because I know how popular it is. And I love this book for a few reasons. One, James really dives into the 4 laws of behavior change. That's kind of his model for how he describes changing behaviors and developing habits, right? So his 4 laws are: make it obvious, make the behavior obvious, make the behavior attractive, make the behavior easy to do, and then make the behavior satisfying so that it's more likely that you do it long term. So those are the 4 things that he thinks are great for behavior change and building good habits. But he also provides 4 inverses, or the 4 opposite versions of those, for removing bad habits. So for those, just the inverse of the same 4. So it would be, instead of make it obvious, he says make it invisible. Instead of attractive, you can make it unattractive. Instead of easy, you make it difficult. And instead of satisfying, you make it unsatisfying, so it's less likely that you do it long term. So I love how easy this model is, how easy he gives us examples and practical ways to implement these in our lives, because one thing about James is he knows it's not just the habits, it's the environment you're in, and it's how easy and how hard they are to implement. So he gives us great and easy examples for us on how to implement these in our lives. Another reason I love this book is because of the title itself, Atomic Habits, and how James describes them. And so he speaks on them in terms of small habits that, make small changes in the short run, but over the long run can have huge or atomic changes in your life. And so one example that really stood out to me was, imagine you're sitting in a cold room, it's 25 degrees, and you're sitting in a room really cold, and you're in front of a table and you're sitting with an ice cube. If you were to increase the temperature in the room by 1 degree, a small change, 1 degree to 26, nothing would happen. 27, 28, you keep doing 1 degree incremental changes and nothing happens until you reach 32. And then that ice cube begins to melt. And then 33, 34, 35, and that process of melting happens more rapidly. And so that example is really to highlight, in the short run, those small changes you're making may not seem like they're having a big impact, but over the long run, if you improve your systems, if you improve the habits themselves and consistently deliver every day and aim to improve every day, then you're going to see that change happen. And it really is a curve that just begins to steepen. Once you hit that point, that tipping point, in the case of the ice cube, it's 32 degrees. But once you hit that point in your habits and your consistency, the impact becomes greater to see and easier to see. And like I mentioned, I just love the book because such easy examples that as you're reading the book, you get to just implement them. I picked up a few things for myself on how I can become more organized and cleaner and just helping me with small stuff in my life. And so love any habit books that have examples and that are easy to follow. So again, this is a book I'll probably read a few times a year, and I definitely recommend for everyone out there. So Atomic Habits by James Clear. Thanks everybody.